I'm the O-Dog. I'm here at Overdrive. Tune in to the Tip In podcast from the O-Dog. Just the tip. That I love.
Grapes and shit. But I just found this interesting. And I don't know if you've thought about this recently or at all, ever, or whatever, but I just thought this was kind of interesting. Going off of the Leafs lineup tonight, how they started the game, okay? Not how it finished. I know there was some juggling of the lines and whatever, but how their lineup looked when they started this game. I'm just going to run through this and just tell me your thoughts. Maybe you have thoughts on this, maybe you don't. I just kind of think it's interesting. Tonight's starting lineup featured from lines 1 to 4, and then the D pairs, and then the goaltenders, okay? Starting lineup tonight, it was a Canadian, American on the top line. The second line, Canadian, Swede. Third line, Russian, Swede, Canadian. Fourth line, Canadian. It's a lot of Canadians. And then on their D pairs, Canadian, American. So, and then their goalies tonight's two Canadians, but ultimately Fred is out. Ultimately it would be a Dane and a Canadian. But so counting Fred, Nylander, Mikheyev, Engvall, Anderson, there's only 4 Europeans on this team, and one of them is the goalie.
Jack Campbell's American.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's from Michigan.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
Okay. Well, okay. I thought he was. I thought really.
He played in the OHL, like he played with the Sioux. So
yeah, I know he played for the Sioux.
A lot of people assume he's Canadian, but he's actually American.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay, so anyway, the others I had right. So anyway,
the others you had right.
So a few Americans mixed in there. Still, that's only okay. So Matthews, Bogosian, Hall, Campbell. So like 4 or so Americans. Galchenyuk, 5. So there's like a handful of Americans mixed in there, but predominant. So you're looking at 4 or 5 Americans, 4 Europeans. The rest of the 20-man roster or whatever is all Canadians. I just found it interesting. Like only 3 or 4 Europeans, including the goalie. Like it's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. Like, not that I put a ton of stock into that, because like I said, not to go all Don Cherry here. Like, do you put any stock into that they've predominantly, their team now is like overrun with Canadian players?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it that way. I kind of look at it as just the best, like,
yeah, and
build the best team you can build.
Same here, but it's kind of interesting a little bit. Do you not think? Like, that in years past, a lot of Europeans in the mix on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they've kind of slowly, like, I don't know, like, and Dubas doesn't even strike me like the type of guy who's like, well, fuck, man, you just look at his draft history the last little while, like especially last year. Predominantly
draft, he always just takes the most skilled person.
Yeah.
Like the person with the biggest ceiling, no matter the size, no matter. He doesn't believe in the philosophy where the Leafs have fallen into this trap before, Freddie Gauthier, where you draft by need. Oh, well, we need a centerman, so let's draft a centerman. No, because this guy's not going to play for your team for 4 years. You don't know what you're going to need in 4 years.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, it's a good observation.
Well,
you're getting wise in your old age.
I just find it kind of interesting. Like, I don't even think there's anything really to it, because like you said, I just think it's like best players, whatever. But it just so happens that like they're predominantly stocked with Canadian players.
I think the more important thing to look at is you have your superstars, but I think the guys on the team that are from the Toronto area or want to play for the Maple Leafs, they love the Leafs, they want to win. John Tavares grew up a Leaf fan. Joe Thornton grew up a Leaf fan. Jason Spezza grew up a Leaf fan. Mitch Marner grew up a Leaf fan. I think getting guys like that, Wayne Simmons, getting guys like that, I think, is more important than what country you're from, because you know what it's like when you grow up and we all did it when we were kids. You play on the backyard rink, you're playing for the Leafs and you're winning the Stanley Cup. So to actually get to live that, that's huge.
But how much of that do you think though is Dubas targeting those guys, or those guys being like, okay,
Well, I think for
I'm
Simmons,
coming to
Thornton, and
the end,
Spezza,
coming to the end, I want to go home. I want to play for the Leafs. I want to be part of something special because they're close.
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think those guys come here. I don't think like Spezza, Thornton, Simmons,
If they don't have a chance to win.
no, they don't come.
If they're the Sabres, they ain't coming.
No, if they grew up Buffalo fans, they're not coming, but they have a chance to win, and it's a team that they grew up loving.